They said she was never enough. Not Korean enough to belong in Seoul, not African enough to belong anywhere else. So she learned to live in the space between. Quiet, careful, invisible. But the day she signed the divorce papers, everything she buried came back. Because 3 hours later, they handed her his will, and nothing about her life made sense anymore. Rain tapped softly against the window the night Sora first understood she didn't belong. She was 7, standing in the corner of her mother's living room in Seoul. Guests filled the house, laughter floating through the air like music she wasn't allowed to join. A woman leaned closer to her mother and whispered, not quietly enough, "Is she adopted?" Her mother smiled, polite, tight. "No, she's mine." A pause, then softer, "Just different." Sora felt it, that word, different, like something placed between her and the world. At school, it was worse. Children didn't whisper there. They said it, openly. "Why is your skin like that? Are you even Korean? Go back to where you came from." She didn't know where that was, so she stopped answering, stopped trying. She sat alone during lunch, watched other children laugh, and slowly she built a wall inside herself, brick by brick, silence by silence. Her father was the only one who broke through it, Adebayo. Tall, warm, gentle. He would kneel in front of her and hold her face in his hands. "Look at me," he'd say. "You are not half." She would blink slowly, confused. He'd smile. "You are double." At night, he told her stories of Lagos streets filled with life, of strength passed through generations, of people who carried their identity like a crown. "Never let anyone make you feel smaller," he told her. "You carry 2 worlds." She believed him, because when he spoke, she felt whole. Then one morning, he didn't wake up. No warning, no goodbye, just silence. And just like that, the only person who saw her completely was gone. After the funeral, her mother changed, colder, sharper, as if Sora had become a reminder she no longer wanted. "Don't attract attention," her mother would say. "People already talk." Sora nodded, because she understood. Love, in her world, always came with conditions. Years passed. Pain turned into focus. Focus turned into ambition, and ambition became her escape. Sora didn't try to belong anymore. She decided to rise above it. Law school was brutal, but she was more brutal. She studied harder than everyone, spoke less, observed more. And when she entered the courtroom for the first time, everything changed. Because there, no one cared what she looked like, only what she could prove. That was where Kang Ji-han noticed her. He sat at the back during a corporate litigation case, watching, analyzing. While others saw a young lawyer trying to prove herself, he saw precision, control, fire. After the case, he approached her. "You don't hesitate," he said. Sora met his gaze. "Neither do you." A pause. Something unspoken passed between them. Recognition. He began requesting her for cases, then meetings, then late-night strategy discussions. Their conversations were sharp, direct, almost cold, but underneath, something was growing. One night, after hours of work, he asked, "Does it bother you?" She looked up. "What?"
"The way people look at you." She held his gaze, then said quietly, "I stopped caring." He studied her for a long moment, then nodded, as if he understood more than she said. Their marriage came without romance. No confession, no grand gesture, just a quiet agreement. "I need someone I can trust," he told her. "I need someone who won't leave," she replied. So they signed the papers, just like that. Living with him was strange. Not uncomfortable, just unfamiliar. He didn't question her, didn't judge her, didn't try to change her. And that alone felt like something she had never known. Weeks turned into months. Distance turned into quiet understanding. Understanding turned into something deeper, unspoken, unacknowledged, but real. One night, she fell asleep at her desk. When she woke, a blanket was draped over her shoulders. A cup of tea sat beside her, still warm. She looked around. He was gone, but something in her chest shifted, softened. Another night, she lost a case, a rare loss, but it hit harder than expected. She sat alone, silent. He walked in, didn't ask questions, didn't offer empty comfort. He simply sat beside her. After a long silence, he said, "You're allowed to fail." Her eyes stung, because no one had ever told her that before. Slowly, care turned into attachment. Attachment turned into something dangerous, hope. Then came his family, cold smiles, sharp words hidden in politeness. "She's not suitable. She doesn't represent us." One dinner changed everything. His mother placed her chopsticks down and said, "You may have married her, but she will never be one of us." Silence filled the room. Sora felt it, that familiar weight, rejection, again. She expected him to stay silent, to choose peace, but he didn't. "She is my wife," he said calmly, "and that's enough." For a moment, she felt protected, chosen. But pressure builds, quietly, slowly, until it breaks. The changes were subtle at first. He worked longer, spoke less. His eyes carried something heavy, distant. Then, one night, everything ended. Rain poured outside. The room felt colder than usual. He stood near the window, still, unmoving. "I filed for divorce," he said. No warning, no emotion, just facts. Sora's heart dropped, but her face stayed calm, because she had learned, never let them see you break. "Okay," she said. That one word hurt more than anything else. She waited for an explanation, a reason, something, but none came. The next morning, she signed, without hesitation, without tears, because this time she wouldn't beg to stay. 3 hours later, everything changed. The lawyer's voice was calm, too calm. "Kang Ji-han passed away this morning." The world went silent. Her chest tightened. Her mind refused to process it. No, that wasn't possible. Then came the will. Everything. Left to her. Her hands trembled as she read. Confusion turned into fear. Then the letter appeared. She opened it slowly, and as she read, her world shattered. "I asked for the divorce to protect you." Her breath caught. "My family planned to destroy you." Tears blurred her vision. "You were never half." Her heart broke completely. "You made me whole." The letter fell, and for the first time in years, Sora cried. Not quietly, not carefully, but completely. Memories flooded her mind. The tea, the silence, the protection, the way he stayed, the way he chose her, even when he couldn't say it. And now he was gone. Days later, the fight began. His family challenged the will, tried to remove her, erase her, again.
But this time, Sora didn't shrink. She walked into the boardroom, every eye on her, judging, waiting. "This company belongs to me," she said calmly. Shock, anger, disbelief. "You don't belong here," someone snapped. She smiled slightly. "I've heard that my whole life." Silence. "But I'm still here." Something shifted. Power, presence, authority. "This company will change," she continued. "No more exclusion, no more silent discrimination." They stared at her. This woman they tried to dismiss, now standing above them. "And if you don't like it," she paused, "leave." No one spoke. That night, she stood alone, looking over Seoul, lights stretching endlessly. For the first time, she didn't feel small, didn't feel lost, didn't feel divided. She whispered softly, "I understand now." Her father's voice echoed in her memory. "You are not half." Jihan's words followed. "You made me whole." She closed her eyes, took a breath. "I was never meant to fit in." A tear rolled down her cheek, but this time, it wasn't pain. "I was meant to stand out." And for the first time in her life, Sora didn't feel like she belonged to nowhere. She belonged to herself. And that was everything.